This face belongs on the tizzy.
Yeah! You know who it is, you know what it is, man. I'm your host, Billy D. Braille, aka Mr. Talkie, aka the voice box of the culture, man. You tuned into another installment of Talk Your Talk, and today I'm gonna let him introduce himself. Talk Your Talk, bro.
My name is DK, rapper, poet, event host, engineer, curator of juice and self-love. That's me, man.
Good talk, man. I'm glad you slid through here today, man. I always started off, let me ask you this, man. What was your intro to hip hop?
Well, I grew up on the Black Road, so music has always been like a big part of that environment. So I easily picked up on a lot of music from that time, and a lot of my family have made music as well. My granddad, he played the keys, he sang. My dad, a lot of my cousins, they were rappers before, and so hip hop has just always been a big part of my life. It's always been like the commentary of the times, essentially, as I've grown up, especially as hip hop has become only more prominent as I've grown up.
Good talk, good talk. So let me ask you this, what inspired you to pick up the mic and want to become a rapper yourself? How did that spark?
Oh man, a lot of phases. At first, it was just elementary school, because about 4th or 5th grade, I started going to school in Jackson County, and that was like a weird adjustment, and still trying to like find my own voice, and rapping just happened to be the medium that worked for me at that time. And the same thing in high school. I was at Cedar Shoals, and my dad was in prison at the time, so I was just like always angry, and so, but I didn't feel like I had the space to necessarily vent those problems, so it just ended up being raps. And then when I was like 16 or 17, I had a brain surgery actually, where I had like strep throat and sinus infection at the same time, and I came out of that and had to learn how to like walk and talk again, all types of crazy mess.
I never knew that.
Yeah, so afterwards, in order for me to graduate on time, I had to go to summer school, and it would be like hour-long bus rides for the summer school bus. So eventually I was just listening to like whole albums front to back, and then eventually that became me like writing raps for the whole hour.
What were some of those albums you were bumping?
Oh man. For some reason, I had a weird liking for the Carter, what was it? The Blueprint 3. For some reason, I really liked that album a lot at that time. A lot of mixtapes were popular at that time too. So stuff like No Ceilings was still popping at that time. I was just finding out about Chance the Rapper and Acid Rap. Who else? Logic. I got real big on Logic at that time, and that's one of the reasons like I'm a huge fan of Logic still to this day, even though he does mad corny stuff.
Cool. Okay. So yeah, I just wanted to get a little more familiar with the era that you were speaking on. I got that. So, were you born in Athens?
I was born in Detroit.
Okay. How long you been in Athens though?
But I've been in Athens since I was like 2 years old, so I might as well be.
So you're a full Athenian pretty much. Right.
Exactly.
It ain't where you're from, it's where you at, man.
Thanks.
So if you had to describe your sound or style, how would you describe your sound or style?
Conscious bangers. That's the best way to describe them, man. And it's definitely evolved over time. It used to be like a lot of like heavy lyricism and flows, and a lot of lo-fi sounds, but lately I've just been accepting the fact that I'm like super southern, and I don't want to like run away from that sound. And a lot of people like to put you like in that box just because you're good with lyricism, but it's just like I like to see folks twerk, you know what I'm saying?
Right. You like to have a good time too.
Yeah, I like a good time myself.
Right.
And I don't want to run away from that either. But I still want to have like the message in there always.
No doubt.
But I still like to play with different sounds. And it's been a lot of fun lately.
Okay, good talk. So let me ask you this, which part do you enjoy more? The performance side or the recording process?
Bro, recording sucks.
You're not a fan of that process.
It's such a process. And like when I first got it started with the rapping thing, like I was doing phone recordings. So like whole one take, I would do this stuff like in the car or in my room, and I would like harass Squale to put me on songs.
Shout out to Squale.
Shout out to Squale. He actually put me like on my first like 3 tracks in Athens on the Black Picasso album. But and that's how I got started. So like that also like I guess bridges to the like no rapping over vocals thing. But just because I was always ready to like present my art, just because I was doing it in one take and doing the phone recordings.
Good talk. And that's funny because I'm familiar with the same thing. I come from an older era, but I remember I used to rap on what was called like maybe just a regular tape recorder where you play and record. So the first time I got into a real studio, and I remember after I spit my verse, I went straight into the hook, and he stopped it. They were like, "Nah, bro." They were like, "You got more tracks. You don't have to do it all in one take." I was like, "What?"
Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely can relate to that, man. So let me ask you this also. In your opinion, what's the definition of a real MC? How do you define a real MC?
That's a good question. Because I think it continues to evolve over time. And I think a real MC is just someone who understands the foundation, but also understands that a big part of hip hop is breaking the rules.
Elaborate. I like how this sound. Big part is breaking the rules.
Yeah, just because we've always been the counterculture, although now we are the culture, and we try to hold younger artists to a certain standard, but I think what makes them special is the fact that they work around the rules and still make it work.
I agree. And that's what makes hip hop what hip hop is. Hip hop was never meant to stay to one style or one. It was always meant to go against the grain, in my opinion. So yeah, I definitely agree with that. Definitely. So also let me ask you this, man. Like being an artist, man. What does hip hop mean to you?
Hip hop is community, and realizing the power in your voice and the power in community as well, and realizing that you are essentially, should you choose to live hip hop, you're essentially a narrator of the times.
Good talk.
So that's been a big part of hip hop for me. And also when you live hip hop, you're not only a narrator of the times, but you also do your part in trying to be a part of the change as well.
Oh, good talk. So let me ask you this, if you could change one thing about the current state of hip hop, what would it be?
The current state of hip hop. Getting back to sitting with albums. I feel like we move at the pace of content creators right now, and I feel like it essentially devalues the art. They just kind of become moments. But I remember like growing up, we sat with No Ceilings for a whole semester. Yeah.
No doubt.
Like we were rapping that in the hallways, in the gym track. Like we walking on the track upstairs, they see the shows, then everybody rapping No Ceilings the whole semester. And people just don't have time to sit with albums like that anymore. Just because of the pace, people feel like they have to move it.
Like now it's a couple weeks.
Yeah.
What's next?
Yeah, like I'm still listening to the Kendrick album.
Right. Some things need more time to process than others. Yeah, definitely. So what's your opinion on the current state of the hip hop scene in your hometown here?
It's growing, constantly evolving, and constantly breaking the rules. That's what I love about it.
Good talk.
That's what makes it so cool. But there's always room to grow, and that's what people are always trying to do, essentially. So I love it, man. I feel like we're reaching a space where I finally feel challenged.
Good talk.
To really rap my raps.
Good talk. So okay, I'm glad you said that because they're gonna spin off to what I was gonna ask you next. Like, what inspires you at this point?
What's inspired me? Just the cathartic feeling that I get from rapping. It's just such a healing experience. Being able to be a timeline or a narrator of the times is both informative and a healing experience for me. Just the process of putting the words together. Just for me and my process, it's just a lot of historical context that goes into it. Going out of my way to make references to things that are Athens, things of that nature. So that's always inspired me. And just seeing other artists just do cool stuff, man. I remember when Kendrick performed at UGA, and I just remember he was doing, what song is that? Money Trees. Oh man, and it was just so crazy. The whole crowd singing the song, the floor shaking.
I can imagine.
Yeah, and it's just like, I remember being like, I want to recreate that feeling for other people.
This is it.
Yeah.
No doubt. That's good talk, man. Well, I got this is a personal question I want to ask you because I always see you going on about it online and stuff, man. What's your beef with MCs who rap over vocals, Joe?
Man, it just don't.
You don't have to hold the thing back. It's on here and I rap over vocals. I want to know the real talk. Talk your talk.
It don't sound good, man. It hurts, like, cause I want to understand, like, and it really just pains me when we be like at these little venues, and you basically competing against yourself, trying to be heard, if that makes sense. And also, a lot of people use that to give them a bigger margin of error.
No doubt.
So they practice less, and it shows, for sure.
And I respect both sides. I just wanted to hear you say it though, because I understand where you're coming from.
But there are some artists that come in here to Nutri Space, they rehearse that shit, and they make it work. Like Blanco, he ain't trying to hear that. Like, and he makes it work. So it's just like.
But see, for a lot of guys, I feel like also it depends on the type of performer you are. Like some people like have more movement than other people.
I was gonna say that too.
And they have to have different type of breath control.
Exactly. Like Blanco be up there shaking his belly and dreads.
Right.
And I ain't trying to do all it.
Right. But also, I think like for me, when I was acting, for me it was just because I didn't have a hype man to when I can take the mic down, because sometimes when you rapping different type of like
the flows are different back there too.
Right. But I understand where you coming from though. But I just wanted you to speak on the platform because I know that's a big thing.
Bro, you should see.
You should do like a whole project concept around just that. Like that would be dope. Like dead serious, man. Like
actually, it was somebody else that had started a whole movement behind it. Called Real MCs Don't Rap Over Vocals. Shout out to Marcel P. Black. He just performed with us in Athens on July 12th. And that was real dope. I actually had to get one of them t-shirts just because of that. But you should see me in the studio, man. Engineers hate me. I'm one take J.
They should like that.
Yeah, but I do it 100 times if I have to.
And nothing wrong with that, man. Like, you know, do it until you feel the way you want it to be, man. Definitely, man. But also, man, we, you know, before you get up out of here, man, let me know what you got going on for the future, man. What you working on right now, man. What can we expect from DK, man? 2022 going into 2023, man. Talk your talk.
That's a good question. I'm sitting on a few albums. I ain't even gonna hold you. It's just finding the right mental space to drop them things.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? But they exist. There's actually a whole album just sitting on my SoundCloud that like nobody.
Shout the SoundCloud out.
Exactly.
Shout the SoundCloud out.
Shmokage DK on all my social media. SHMOKAGEDK. That's on any social media platform.
Good talk. I'll have the link in the video description once it's posted for the music or whatever, man.
Appreciate that.
Anything else you want to say before we slide out, Joe?
Let's get back to the bars, man. Get back to the raps. Get back to the culture, man. That's about it. I guess I'll let y'all play for a little minute. You know what I'm saying? Before I get back into it. But I did enjoy coming here. This was nice.
Yeah, man. You know, that's what it's about, man. Just trying to shine some light on some guys, man. Did you know that? Guys that I think are dope with what they do, man, they need more light shine on them, man. You know, everybody need to sit down and let people know more about them, man. And I felt like I owe you this, man. I thought the shows, you know, invited me to that I didn't make it to, man. Man, I like what you do, man, because you know, man, you always been a real, you always showed me love every time you see me, man. It's always been a good vibe every time I come around you. And at the end of the day, I like the people that I know love the music. I see the passion for the music in you that I share. So that's why I want you to get out here, man, and tell people about yourself, man.
Respect.
No doubt, Joe. Yeah. Whether that's it then, man, you know, as always, I'm your host at Boast, Billy D. Braille, a.k.a. Mr. Talkin', a.k.a. the voice boss of the culture, man. You tuned in to Talk Your TV, man. Another episode of Talk Your Talk. Shout yourself out one time before we bounce, yo.
Hey, man, it's DK. We out here dropping knowledge, sipping juice. You can find me at Shmokage DK on any social media platform. That is SHMOKAGEDK, where you can listen to me talking.
Yeah.
Yeah. My name's DK.
Look at it.
I be going through things sometimes, and sometimes you just gotta yell about it, man. All I ask is that you walk with me. Yeah. My niggas been losing they pops and shit been bringing pops out of me. Not the type to pop smoke, but we see by our stars undoubtedly. See you aim, it's your turn, but this shit here don't reroute me. Co-friends cause he won't see his son. Rain on him and it's clouded me. Judgment, power with these grudges, or electric slide as I pass them. When firemen don't make hot boys, but many hoes gon' be spouting. Please, not too far, bitch, we fireside. He dead, can't ask to get at them. Only debate anyway, it's my cubs, life without of me. Dire, king of my pride. See this ride on these waivers. You out your Jerry hat trick mind that we need rats for these favors. Cause I can't even hit the blunt, but we won't ask for them papers. Coliseum shit, who come out alive, we placing our wages. Your school of choice without gotta be Bimbra. Placing my majors with these nigga moments, pipelines of disease. Circles we run up fatigued. White friends shot like holy cow, we pray over a lot of beef. Truth crashing like resting souls from forgotten reefs. Back to back for more change, you bagging trip. Rotten teeth, shit ain't sweet as it seems. So eat your greens before them boys in blue start spotting me. Yeah. Know it sucks, yeah. Know you miss them, yeah. Lick for lick, tick for tat, pick your mission, yeah. It's been noted for Gonzalez, that's your sentence, yeah. Knock 'em out, it's no decisions, your decisions, more division. Know it sucks, yeah. Know you miss them, yeah. Lick for lick, tick for tat, pick your mission, yeah. It's been noted for Gonzalez, that's your sentence,
yeah. Knock 'em out is no decisions, your decisions, motivation. Fuck a funeral, look bitch, this body's still fresh to me. Watch it turn cold as the world was just felt that blood rush right next to me. It was just showing me love, and my policy and the check to me. My niggas want retaliation, fuck a shirt and the rest in peace. Tirades of the morgue. I be the body to call it. Catch my one when it's time. Till then, two up for the falling. Cause I'll lay there around the corner. Hostages right round the neck. Who to call you? Might die on my phone. Death sight gripping my neck. Why I gotta make the cut and hit to chop it up. Drop it further. Make the slice till my drawbacks can't stop popping up. Thought I was rapping to be popular. My nigga, this my diary. Survivors get my job to live. Praying for God to fire me. No, it sucks. Yeah. No, you miss them, yeah. Lick for lick, tit for tat, pick your mission, yeah. It's been noted for Gonzalez that your sentence, yeah. Knock 'em out, it's no decisions, your decisions, motivation, yeah.